Greetings everyone, my name is Etterville, and welcome back to my Let's Play of Mega Maker. During the last part, I covered 6 Viewers Minute levels, so in this part, I'll be covering at least 5 or 6 levels from the Mega Maker official subreddit's weekly level sharing thread. Or rather an older one, because the newest edition is lacking in entries. In fact, I think I'll discontinue taking entries from those threads because they start to dry up in terms of level submissions, unfortunately. I would rather take it from the official site or from the popular queue. So let's start up with this entry and see what it has to offer. Top Man Botanical Garden by Amars464, 8 plays and a score of 1. Now, I will resume taking entries from that thread series as long as there are enough entries to actually pick from. As usual, if you want one of your levels to be featured in a future part, please leave the level name or preferably the level ID in the comment section below, or direct message me on Twitter. Also, the full disclaimer of my entire LP is linked in the description below. So let's see what this has to offer. We have Top Man, of course, for all the special weapons too. I forget which Road Master had this team. Oh, never mind, I remember. This is Ringman. I always associate him with another Roadmaster, mainly because Ringman's team was it wasn't one of my favorite teams for Mega Man 4, is what I'm saying. And I should be using my special weapons more here. Might as well. So of course we have a mix of tile sets between Nightman and, well, Top Man's tile set. Makes sense after all this. Well, it's a combination of a botanical garden as well, so it's understandable. I always wondered what those lights in the background were for Top Man's stage. In fact, I wonder where Top Man's stage actually takes place in. I believe the manual does explain where it is, but I suppose it's a stadium. I'll have to double check the manual for that. So far the challenges are pretty good, I would say. The enemy introductions are pretty nice, I'd say. And thank you for giving me access to the charge shot. It makes this a lot less annoying. And thank you for giving me access to the charge kick so I can circumvent these challenges. So far all the challenges seem rather fair, so that's good. I'm not sure why there's a met tool on the left. That was more of my fault. There wasn't ample time to react to them. But I rushed forward, that's why I took a hit. And that was good checkpoint placement as well. Good job, level creator. Okay, I need to rush coil this. You know, the fact that I can have rush coil to jump over this or use the rush kick or charge kick really diminishes the difficulty of getting that E-tank. Oh well, it's not too bad though. Now we're in the water segment where all the poles. I'm getting quite excited of what new entries will be coming in version 1.1. From what I've seen from the developer's Twitter, they're going to be adding the oil slider, well, an upgraded oil slider, as well as an upgraded needle cannon. Those will be quite nice. I don't remember any Mega Man's classic weapon which dealt damage over time, where you could set enemies on fire, or in the case of the needle cannon, you can latch on those needles onto, or embed those needles onto the enemies and they'll gradually deal damage over time. I don't remember a weapon in Mega Man Classic that did that. So it's gonna be neat to use that. And I would love to see how other level creators are gonna take advantage of the new improved weapons. But most importantly, I'm really looking forward to more gimmicks and some sort of mini-boss in this game. Because, as I mentioned repeatedly throughout this LP, I find the lack of mini-bosses in this engine to be quite a glaring omission. After all, mini-bosses have been a part of Mega Man Classic series ever since Mega Man 2. Only Mega Man 1 didn't really have mini-bosses. To be fair, the equivalent of mini-bosses in Mega Man 1 were the big eyes. But the big eyes have been nerfed in this game anyway, because you can damage them even when they're not jumping. Alas, we're at the boss fight against Top Man. It was a regular length Mega Man stage, around the same length as a traditional Mega Man level, so it's fine. Apparently his weakness is the Mega Buster, so good for me. And that was the end of Top Man Botanical Garden. Pretty well designed stage, gimmicks and enemies, mostly enemies, were introduced in a very well fashion, and the stage was pretty nice to go through. I couldn't really determine what a gimmick of this stage was, but the number of checkpoints and placement of enemies and escalation of challenges was pretty nice, and I did like the aesthetics. And it didn't drag on for too long, so for that I give it a thumbs up. Good work on Mars, although it would be rather in the 5 to 6 out of 10 category. Specifically, the average to above average / decent category. Second on the lineup is Time Stop Temple by Slopeman, 19 plays and a score of 3. From what I remember from the comment, this is more of a gimmick / puzzle based level where you have to use a time stopper. So this is gonna be neat. Of course, we only have access to the flash stopper. Sorry, I meant flash stopper, not time stopper. Time stopper is Flashman's weapon, whereas the flash stopper is Brightman's weapon. Yeah, it's confusing, I know. I don't think that's... Okay, this is how you're supposed to do it. You're supposed to get the up and down platform pushed up a bit, then go down under it, where I instead clipped through it, and then lock it in place. That's neat. Challenges are going to get more difficult as we go forward, though. At least I can turn off my flash stopper rather easily anyway. After all, now with the flash stopper I can mitigate one of the most annoying things of these weapons. Or the up and down platforms where you won't have time to react to being crushed, but now I have all the time in the world to react to jumping off of the up and down platforms. Thank you for giving me access to the time stopper for that reason alone. Still, you gotta be careful with positioning, though. I am liking the challenges so far. Nice, steady introduction of gimmicks. Getting your feet wet with how the time stopper works. Now we're getting introduced to the... Oh, we got introduced to the falling platform, and if I had timed it correctly, I would have gotten access to the E-Tank. And by doing this, I can now skip this entire challenge filled with all these octopus batteries, or Susies. A lot of neat usages of the time stopper, but nothing too difficult so far. By doing this, I can circumvent the entire octopus battery line. Good checkpoint placement as always. It's always nice when you have a lot more room for skilled play. Here you gotta be careful in time usage of the flash stopper, so you can get by all of these hoppers. That's it, I'm damage boosting. I need to time the time when I use the flash stopper so I can position myself on that block. Very neat, actually. Kind of scary, but very neat. I'm liking the level so far, that's for sure. Oh. Didn't time it right. This is gonna be kind of a... Well, at least the checkpoint's here. This is gonna be a bit of a challenge where I need to time it correctly. Phew, I thought I needed to slide on that fort block, but the danger is that if it starts falling and I'm on top of the fort block, I'll get embedded into the ceiling spikes. Somehow I made the jump on the third one. Great checkpoint placement so far. I'm getting ready for a gotcha moment here. Never mind. I was expecting there to be a sudden gotcha moment of spikes, mainly because we had the ability to slow down time, but no. I'm surprised though. The level creator was rather more on the lenient side. I was expecting a lot more death spikes and Kaiser traps and more gotcha quick reaction moments, but no. They were rather tame. They made the level more on the average, more for the average difficulty, for players who are on the average skill level. But of course, it doesn't hurt Nightman, so we need to dissipate these. If I can get him up here, that'll be awesome. After all, if I can get him to drop under here, I automatically win, I think. And of course, I forgot that if I switch weapons, it turns it on. But I'm really liking this stage so far. Great escalation of challenges, nicely introducing how to use a time stopper, how to turn it off. And it was relatively on the fair side, more in the average. It was more designed for a player of average skill level. I was expecting something much harder and a lot more gotcha moments, but the designer was rather on the more on the lenient side. So better for that, I suppose. Can you fall under? Of course, that's an issue though. Come on, get over here, please. Stop throwing your mace. There you go. Okay, get that dropping. Wow, that's a long throwing distance. Oh, wow. No, it's not. I need to get him launched into here. Come on, jump here, please. It's gonna take a short while. Oh, goodness. Almost there. Come on, you can jump there. I believe in you. Oh, I forgot that gonna be an issue. Whoops. We double killed ourselves. Okay then. Well, I got crushed and you got glitched out of the stage. What I need to do is somewhat position myself so Nightman's at the bottom and that up and down platform's up there. Fair enough. Easier said than done though. Ah, there we go, that's what I meant. So keep firing and hope that Nightman actually jumps here. If he jumps at the correct positioning would be helpful too. Come on, jump in the hole. Please jump in the hole. Okay, good, we're almost there. Come on, jump in here. There we go. That's how you're supposed to defeat Nightman. Alternatively, you can try just shooting him, but that's really difficult because there's only one peck of you can only hit him for 1 damage per hit, and I don't have access to a charge shot. But that was a really unique stage. Great work, Slopeman. I give it a thumbs up for all the reasons I already mentioned during the boss fight. Great work. Definitely my favorite level of the parts so far. So far, so good. Third on the lineup is Subspace Research Facility by GreatKnightJ. 4 plays and a score of 1. The story that was listed in the comment is that in the year 20XX, Mega Man is dispatched by Dr. Light after distress signals from a laboratory dedicated to bending the very fabric of space and time was mentioned. It soon becomes apparent that Mega Man will need to survive not only the attacks of the Roadmasters, but also the equipment in the lab that's malfunctioning and trying to kill him. So basically, we're going to be seeing a whole mix of different level aesthetics and whatnot. Well, that's a pretty nice justification of why that's happening. And we have forced weapon usage, so it's going to be more like a fortress-based level. Fine with me. I do like the stage does have a story behind it. It adds more context. And it makes it so that we're not just going to a random configuration of blocks, enemies, gimmicks, etc. We have another alternative reason to go through the stages. We have another reason other than just gameplay alone to actually solve the problems of these stages. Okay, each segment is divided. Oh, and by their own color schemes, neat. First we had okay, here we're forced to use the top spin jumping. First we actually had the Snake Man things, now we have this. Easier said than done though, because I need to position myself carefully. There we go. A little bit off the edge there. Few fire bars here. I do like that each segment, whatever segment that's coming next, is foreshadowed with whatever blocks are over here. Like before we had the Shadow Man tile set indicating the Shadow Man tile set coming up. Now we have the elect beams indicating that there's going to be force beams and electricity. And now we have Yoku blocks too. For all intents and purposes, the force beams at the bottom will act like lava. Could you put the Yoku block a little bit closer next time? It's a bit scary. For that reason, because making that jump can be a little bit pixel perfect. I'd have liked if the Yoku block was one block a bit earlier. It's not too bad though. After all, there's a checkpoint right over there too, so I'm not complaining too much. Oh boy, I see you there. Phew, that was close. Kind of a... wow, that was a quick reaction there. Nothing too difficult so far. The stage has been more on the fair side anyway. It's been me more so who has been screwing up. But I do like how each segment is divided by those large blocks. That's pretty nice. Oh, boss time. Now we just need to start running away, I suppose. Oh, or just keep falling down here and survive. And hit the breaker switch or something. Is there a right part of the stage? Nope. I guess the end of the stage is on the left. But first, this thing. If only I had the crash bombs. Well, I do actually. Whoops. Now we have a mixture of all the gimmicks we've seen before, I suppose. And we're so far away that Cutman can't do anything. Thank you. Okay, we just completely skipped the Cutman boss fight, I suppose. Well, I'm not complaining. A bit highly damaged though. Oh, I see a heart shape. This is going onto the heart of the base and... okay. And by doing so, we somehow caused Cutman to fall off screen. That one stage where Napalm Man was chasing me throughout the level, that did the same thing with the final teleporter. I wonder how they do that. Make it so that the boss falls off screen like that. Must be an engine quirk. Otherwise, great stage. I did like how each level or section was foreshadowed, so I'll give it a thumbs up. Although I still like a Time Stop Temple more so. But most importantly, I liked that it had some backstory to provide some context. Fourth on the lineup is Sliding Down the Rabbit Hole by Staffy, 14 plays and a score of 2. I believe I played 2 of their levels before. Actually, there was during a few other level sharing threads that focused on Reddit, so it makes sense we'd see them again. Now it's Stone Man's team again. Almost got telefragged over there. So, okay, we have the Napalm Man forest backgrounds. I wonder what this level will actually focus on. I'll leave that up to me not reacting fast enough. Let's see, Elect Beam and Sword Snake. Fine with me. And we have the Mega Man 5 or 6 charge shot. This time, don't go over there. I guess this stage will focus on sliding and going to different areas. Okay. I was worried I got stuck over there. Okay, so this stage does focus more on sliding around the place. That's neat. I'm not sure about the Yuko block placements though, they seem a bit more on the troller's side. I better conserve my elect beam energy because it seems to be used for everything. Thank you for the full refill. I just feel a bit worried of getting telefragged by Yoku blocks, as what happened quite a few parts ago. Make sure to hit all of those elect beam platforms just to be sure. Oh, this is where it linked up to. I wonder if you could actually circumvent this stage if you damage boosted into the teleporter. That would be neat. I should have held left over there. I should have known that this would teleport me back there. I'm not sent back too far, so I'm not complaining much. The only thing I'm really concerned about is getting locked into the level or something. Whoops, I went the wrong way. The only thing I'm worried about is getting stuck where I ran out of elect beam energy or something. I do have an M-tank though, so my worries are mostly unfounded, I would say. I'm just worried I'm going to miss a secret or something. But I have well more than enough E-tanks for the boss fight, so it's not too bad. Okay, let's do this correctly this time. I see we're going all over the place, too. Hold right this time. I would have preferred if those spikes at the earlier segment weren't there, but it's not too bad. Overall, I'm liking the stage so far. I do like we're looping around the same areas, but in different configurations thanks to the teleporters. I do enjoy it when Mega Man levels do that. It makes it so that we can... It adds to stuff like... This is utilized quite well in, for example, Metroidvanias, where you start early in one area, and then you see a future area you can't access, and then later in the game, you reach that later area and see the earlier area, and use that as a gauge for progress. And I always like that when games do it. Well, specifically if they don't overuse it, though. Ah, neat. If you went forward to the right, you would just go onto the boss, but if you went to the left, well, you get access to that E&M tank. So it pays to explore. I get a feeling that the robots... Well, I get the feeling that the boss is weak against electricity. At least that's my feeling because of all the electric boxes. Okay, I somehow got over that one. Oh, whoops. I see something on the top left over there. Oh boy. We have a spike drop segment, and now the spike... Well, the floors are made out of ice, the spikes are bluish colored, and the waterfall is bluish colored. Oh, goody. Okay, I didn't realize we'd get this secret too. Well, never mind, I thought we didn't have access to that. I thought we were running out of some weapon energy, but no. I wish that if once we collected an M-tank and we're full on M-tanks, it would automatically use it or something. I'll graciously take the E-tanks though. I thought I was gonna die in this spike falling segment, but no. Okay, I guess there's no Yoku blocks here. There should be some way to get up there. I'm probably missing something. Because that just led to all those secret E&M tanks or extra ones. Well, I guess I need to go through the segment one more time and go to the right side. I guess there's a boss door there. Because I swear there would be something to the left, but no, there isn't. And once I get into the teleporter here, I'm stuck. I guess I need to go down then. Oh, of course. Because of my experience from other Mega Maker levels, I thought going down the water would just be a bottomless pit. But no, it's just the actual pathway you're supposed to go through. The upper pathway was just a secret for some extra E&M tanks. I really hope in the future Mega Maker adds an automatic feature where it dims the bottom part of the screen, where there's no alternate pathway, so it fades to black to indicate that there's a bottomless pit. I really hope that's added so it becomes less confusing to explore the stages, especially ones with alternate pathways. I'm just taking the hit. I have so many E-tanks in this stage that I might as well burn through them for the boss fight. This stage was rather generous with them. Of course, I was half expecting the stage to go on further, but no, we have the boss fight. Okay, at least it's the Surf Snake. I would be a little bit miffed if the special weapon you were supposed to use against Toadman would be the Elect Beam and you had to use the Elect Beam with all those blocks, so thank you. Well, that was sliding down the rabbit hole, a stage about sliding and teleporting through multiple segments and revisiting similar areas at different areas. Pretty nice, although those two areas where you could get teleported in spikes if you didn't react fast enough were kind of jerkish. But other than that, I think I enjoyed it. Good work, Staffy. Fifth level on the lineup is Pharaoh of the Tundra by TheShadowRanger. 22 plays and a score of 2. Now, I did play one of ShadowRanger's levels several parts back. Their level was Nightman's Castle, so let's see how this one compares to that one. We're gonna have Pharaoh, of course, and it's going to be a Tundra/ice stage, of course. Always check the left part of the stage, just to be sure if there's any secrets. Okay, Mega Man 4 charge shot, I believe. Even though it's a bit of a smaller charge shot in comparison to Mega Man 5s and 6s, at least you can never lose it upon getting hit. So that's one saving grace. Good, we actually have the Firestorm, the Silver Tomahawk, and Mush Coil. Nightman's Castle did have multiple alternate pathways, so let's see how many pathways this stage has. Okay, we're introduced to those enemies and now the footholders. We need to wait for them to sync up a bit. Okay, the footholders are a little bit desynced if you were to ask me. Okay, I'm gonna make the jump over here. I don't want to wait all this time. Oh goody, now we have this segment. I wish it was introduced in a bit of a safer environment before this, because it can be a little bit finicky. Not to mention we're doing it over ice physics too. I would rather be introduced to all of these footholders as well as those flipping platforms in a safer environment. Oh well, I suppose this is designed for more skilled players anyway, so like a fortress level. Still, with all those things combined, it can be quite intimidating for newer players. Now we're in the ice base, of course, and the tile set got better, with the Flashman's background or something, as well as the tile set from Frostman. No, not Frostman, Blizzardman. Might as well just circumvent the entire challenge over there. And take the easy route. I suppose this is the easy route. Yep, it was. I was half expecting there to be an E-tank at the bottom I could only access, and darn, I should have hugged left. Would be a good point for a checkpoint too. I really don't want to repeat that segment with the footholders earlier. It's just a bit too slow and it can easily desync as you saw over there. And I have a strong suspicion that Pharaoh is weak against the Firestorm in this at the end of this stage. After all, fire beats ice. Okay, forced weapon usage of the Rush Coil. Hello? Okay, it was a little bit risky, but I decided to take it. If I didn't make that jump, I would just jump cut back to here. Looking so far, I think this part will require minimum level of jump cuts. None of the stages were extremely annoying to go through, and there were not that many unfair deaths that required a lot of backtracking. The stage that had the most number of deaths was, of course, sliding down the rabbit hole, but even then, I wasn't set back too far. Okay, now we have all the falling blocks. This is rather... well, I didn't expect there to be a checkpoint that early. Judging by the first checkpoint placement, I was expecting it to be a bit later, but okay, not complaining. So far so good. Challenges are... well, the stage started out harder, now it's becoming it became easier, now it's becoming harder again. Having to do that earlier platforming segment with the footholders, the icy ground, not to mention the photons, that can be kind of a problem. It feels like the stage's order is a bit mixed up in terms of difficulty. Now we're getting into harder versions of this falling platform gimmick, where you need to do it completely over a bottomless pit. Neat, we need to be careful here and not use the firestorm, so we don't need to do a precise jump. And that was me forgetting that there was a ceiling right up there. It's only 2 screens away, so it's not necessary to do a jump cut. Also, thank you for putting a large weapon energy over there, because you're forced to use the firestorm in order to destroy those blocks. Of course, I forgot ice physics are a bit finicky in this engine, where you can suddenly have a lot of inertia going into the pit. Okay, I guess this is how you're supposed to do it. I died 3 times doing this already, off screen, one of which I actually made it past, but suddenly it fell by sliding down into the pit over there, because ice physics in this engine with sudden deceleration acceleration. I'm just gonna take the safe route by killing the Sniper Joe, and jump on these non-ice physics platforms. I didn't expect to die here I didn't expect this part to be the part where I died the most in this stage, but ice physics and precise platforming. Or rather, this engine's interpretation of ice physics, especially with the sudden sliding. Really would like a checkpoint nearby, too. Okay, thank you. Of course, I'm going to reset at this checkpoint before I fight the Pharaoh. Pretty nice stage, although the difficulty curve was a bit off. We started out hard, became easier, then we ended up being hard as well, although I don't think that segment over there with the tree block spikes was supposed to be that difficult. And the other problem was ice physics, but that's more of the engine's problem more than anything else. Of course, it's the firestorm. Well, that makes it a lot easier. And that was the end of this stage. As I said, we have the aforementioned difficulty curve problems, but I did like the aesthetics and the challenge set, although it's geared to a more skilled Mega Man player, so I will give this a thumbs up. Though I would say the first thing to work on is a difficulty curve. Otherwise, good work, ShadowRanger. Now we're on to the 6th and final level of this part. Summer Adventure by Fiven, 15 plays and a score of 2. And also, most of these levels that I covered, at least 4 of them, really deserve higher levels, or higher ratings. Like, for example, Top Man, Botanical Garden, Time Stop Temple, Subspace Research Facility, especially. Well, maybe at the very least the first 3 levels. And maybe this one too. I would love to see them get higher ratings, but sadly they were overlooked. Okay, we have infinite usage of the Charge Kick, we have temporary usage of the Mega Buster. Surf Snake, Toss Spin, Star Crash, okay. From what the level designer said, this is a relatively short level that can be completed in a variety of ways depending on how you use your weapons. Plus there are optional pathways, secrets, and 2 exits. So I'm probably going to have to use the level editor to see a bunch of the other ones. And apparently the bottom actually is in the death pit. It actually leads to another part of the stage. That's neat. I wish more levels did this sort of thing where if you fall down, you're taken to a lower pathway, instead of just instantly dying. In fact, by doing so, we get an E-Tank. Well, I guess I will need to play through this stage at least one more time in order to access the other exit. Fine with me. I need to slide in here somehow, or I could have just used the Star Crash and made my life a lot easier. I didn't want to get embedded into the wall there, so I decided to fall. Or just ignore it. Now I just need to time myself at the right moment so I can get in here. This is gonna take a short while, at least there's no spikes or anything, or limited weapon usage. The unfortunate thing is that we can't do it while against the wall. Okay, there we go. I totally expected there to be going to the right, but no, this takes you upwards. Silly me. Oh, and this is the upper pathway of the stage now that I could have taken. I'll revisit this stage and take the upper pathway in the second attempt. Right now I'm going to see what's the first pathway, where it leads to. A lot of secrets in E&M tanks. Thank you, game. I was really lucky to get that in my first attempt. And this too. I'm hoping that this stage isn't focused too much on these precise slides for the secret pathways, but I'm really liking it so far. It really makes the stage feel like it's a lot bigger and adds a lot of replay value. So good work on that part, developer. Well, I guess there's no way to go other than down. And actually, that was the death pit. Fair enough on me, I'll take the upper pathway then. But I suppose there is a pathway down there. I already have enough E-tanks for the boss fight, so I'll ignore it. Oh, clever. Oh no. Well, that was unclever of me. Though if I fall in the pit below, I won't die, I suppose. This is how you're supposed to do it. I probably should be conserving my Mega Buster energy, though. Oh, I guess there's no way to go other than down here. And I was right. I went the wrong way, though. I was supposed to go on the left so I can get the checkpoint. No biggie, I can get it right here, oh goodness. Well, I don't have access to the checkpoint then. This is gonna be a slight problem. Ah, goodness, I was a bit panicky there. More bouncing, I think. Oh goody, I need to wait for the proper positioning too. I'm going down here. There was a checkpoint right over there, thank goodness. I keep worrying that there are bottomless pits everywhere throughout this stage, but most of the time I'm proven wrong, other than that one time. Let's go left and see what this has to offer. I see that's where the split of the stage occurs, I think. I'm just gonna die over here because I'm really low on health. But I think I know where the stage split occurs, and I'll take the right pathway in my second attempt at this stage. And I think the scrolling broke over there. That's really not intended. Oh, and I forgot we don't have access to sliding normally. Never mind, we have to go to the right. We have two pathways, one going up, one going down, one going to the right. Oh, and this is a boss fight against Pharaoh then. Okay, then. Let's see, what is his weakness? Can we figure it out here? Of course it's that. Well, I'm going to replay the stage anyway, so let's fight in the normal way. And be careful so we don't embed ourselves in the spikes. The waterfalls are making this thing a little bit more difficult because it increases how high Pharaoh can jump. Alas, that was the end of the first pathway of Summer Adventure. Already so far I'm really liking the stage. I like that there's like two elevations of the stage, a top pathway and a bottom pathway. And they lead to different areas, and there are a lot of secrets filled with E&M tanks and extra weapon fill-ups. Alright, we're at the point where about the pathways diverge. Now, I decided to skip the intro segment because we've seen it before. Now, in order to access the secret exit here, we need to bounce off of these enemies, or fire tellies. But in order to do so, well, there's an easier way of doing it, or a more difficult way. I'll have to do a charge kick, jump over here, toss spin off of them, and make the jump over here. If you fall down there, and then you hit a checkpoint, you need to restart the stage, unfortunately. But by doing this, we now access the secret exit. I checked. The other doors at the bottom, they don't really lead to anything of use. The top part of the boss, the corridor over there, well, it leads to a ladder up that you already saw, where you can see this alternate pathway. Whereas the bottom pathway connected to the boss corridor, that leads to some small weapon energies, which are rather suspiciously placed. But if you're really skilled with using the charge kick and switching over to the top spin, you can take this secret exit, which I do appreciate. It rewards more skilled play. So definitely give this stage a thumbs up. I would say this stage is almost up there with Time Stop Temple and Botanical Garden, or rather Subspace Research Facility. This level is definitely an honorable mention, that's for sure. So overall, my favorite levels of this part were Time Stop Temple and Subspace Research Facility. Time Stop Temple for well utilizing the time stop in a really fun gimmick level that wasn't too challenging or jerkish, and Subspace Research Facility for the backstory and nice aesthetic appeal of the challenges and the fact they were quite varied. And as I said, the previous level I went through Summer Adventure for being a well-designed stage and having multiple alternate pathways which reward exploration with all those E&M tanks. In fact, it also rewards skilled play because you need to do that in order to access the secret exit. The only way you can do that is skillful usage of the charge kick and a toss spin. And the rest of the levels were pretty fun as well. So in the next part, I'll probably be covering another set of random levels. Well then, thanks for watching and have a nice day. Toodles!